everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm trying a new video software out because my phone's memory is just absolutely crapola and it just doesn't work. So I'm hoping that this will work. I'll only be able to tell after I've uploaded and see the quality. But anyway, hope you're doing well. I've got something that I would like to share with you about tarot cards. Now, over sort of like the past, I'd say about 3 or 4 months, I've been watching on YouTube various different channels and various different people doing tarot readings. And the subject being who you are as a person, like your personality, your traits, that kind of thing. So I wanted to see and listen to a lot of different people so that I could collaborate the information and see if it matched and things like that. And anything that matched or that was similar, I composed together and I've compacted together in a sort of summary. So bearing in mind that I've watched so many of these videos, that the information that I've now got I feel confident with that could potentially describe me. So I gave my little mum, a ring yesterday, and I read these meanings, these descriptions, and said, do you believe that this is me? And probably about 97% she said, yes, that is totally you, which I'm glad about, because my mum is, she knows me the best in the whole world. So if anybody's going to be able to clarify or confirm that this is actually me, it's my mum. So anyway, I'm going to share it with you, and you can leave a comment as to whether or not you agree or not. If you've been watching me for a long time, you might know me a little bit by now, and feel a little bit confident knowing who I am, and what I sort of do and how I act and things like that. So you might have some kind of idea already, but I'll share these with you because some of them are just spot on, and I love it. I love that so many different videos that I watched, came up with the same things. So yeah, I'll share them with you, and let me know in the comments below what you think. So a lot of stones or crystals that came up again and again and again and again were blue and green emerald. So whatever significance that is, I don't know. I'm not really that well educated in crystals and the meanings and the colours and things like that. As of yet, that's something that I'm definitely gonna look into and research and learn about, because they have a lot of healing. Healing power or comforts. I don't know. So yeah, emerald and blue always seem to come up for me. And there was lots of different tarot cards, the actual picture. But I've just ignored that, and I've gone with the reader's suggestions and stories behind that, because I think that's more important than the actual picture itself on the card. That is important, of course, the fundamentals, the actual underlining meaning. Of course, that does count, but I like to listen to their story and their interpretation of it just as equally as much. But anyway, so here is a list that I've compiled. And like I said, it's a combination of all these videos that I've watched. I must have watched over 100, and I've just narrowed it all down. So see if this is me, if you think that this is me. And I'll tell you what my mum agreed with. Okay, so the first one is, I make decisions based on emotions and my passions. My mum 100% agreed with that. I think with my heart, I feel with my heart, I do things with my heart rather than my head. And my passions and things like that, definitely. 100% that is me. Free spirit, yeah, definitely. I remember a time when it was a Christmas party, and one of my cousins, Robin, such a nice guy. I really like him. We don't see each other that very often, which is a shame, but he once said to me, now bearing in mind we probably only get together once a year, if that, and that's at Christmas, so he doesn't know me very well. But I always remember sort of saying hi to him and how are you doing at this Christmas party? And he just randomly said, you're such a free spirit. And I can't even remember what we were talking about, but I don't remember it including anything spiritual or anything like that, because, you know, we only get together, you know, a small amount of time. But yeah, he said that, and that's always stuck with me. So whenever anybody says free spirit, I instantly think of my cousin Robin, which is nice because he's a really nice guy. So that's that one. Natural gifts. Don't really know what that means. I mean, a gift can be a talent or a psychic gift or healing gift, or it could mean anything really, that one. So that one's quite vague. But she agreed with it anyway. The next one was quite embarrassing to ask my mum. This one was, people find me sexy and attractive. Let's just skip that one. Next one, water traits. Obviously, my star sign is Pisces, so I'm a water sign anyway. But if I could spend my most amount of time in the day, it would be in water. So whether it be a shower, a bath, swimming in the ocean, swimming in a lake, swimming in a swimming pool, bathing in a waterfall, a hot spring, anything to do with water, especially going underneath the water. That's when I'm at my highest of everything, if you get what I mean. Next one was creative. That one's super obvious to everybody. I mean, and myself, I'm an artist. So, and, you know, it all sort of ties in. All my education is all in art and design. This one's really interesting. I identify people very quickly, whether they are fake or not. That is very true. I know it sounds a bit bizarre, but even if I've not met somebody before, so they're a complete stranger, it's a friend of a friend or something like that, and they start talking to me, I can instantly think, you're talking a load of poo-poo, you know, or you're sincere. I can pick up on that, like a first impression. I think first impressions are wrong, but after time, I can tell, you know, after speaking with them or hearing their stories or them telling me a little bit about themselves, I can think, oh, yeah, you lied about that, or you told the truth about that, or you're exaggerating, or things like that. That happens all the time. I can do that very easily. My mum agrees with that as well. So not necessarily fake, but, nice or not nice, or has a temper, or is very gentle, or is very extroverted, or very introverted, that kind of thing. There's a ton of things behind that. And I do that. That's definitely true. The next one, money isn't that important to me. That's very true. That's very true. I mean, I have a lot of respect for people who are careful. There's a difference between sort of wanting and caring and needing and things like that. So it's a bit of a complex subject. But I think in terms of money, it just means that I'd like to know that I have enough to survive, and maybe a little bit extra from time to time to do something recreational, or traveling, go traveling or something like that, or buy a gift for my family, especially my nieces. I'd like to have that kind of stability, that kind of savings in that sense. But in the sense of extravagant mansions and yachts and things like that, take it or leave it. The next one is really interesting because this is something that I've looked into, and it's not been that long since. This is quite a recent journey that I've been looking into, and it's witchcraft. Now, it's not the occult or anything dark or anything daft like that. I would never do anything like that. But I'm very interested in the natural side of it. So, earth, fire, water, spirits, that kind of thing. I mean, I do the spirit box all the time, so the afterlife, that kind of thing. I'm really into that. So, and there's a lot of things like that in witchcraft. I mean, there's a huge, huge misconception about witchcraft. People instantly think the devil, which is a load of nonsense. In fact, in witchcraft, they don't believe that there is a devil. So there's a lot of ignorance around witchcraft, which is a shame. There's a lot of ignorance around everything, to be fair, especially religion. But yes, so it mentioned witch traits, which I thought was really great. Next one is psychic traits, reading people's minds, specifically. So I don't know about reading people's minds in the literal sense, but I definitely can have premonitions about what people are about to say. And now, for my family, that's because I know them so well. And so I can instantly think, we have such a connection, and I know them inside out that I can predict what they're about to say. So that's not really anything psychic, but I can do that with just sort of watching a TV show or meeting somebody, or, it sort of happens in the day-to-day life as well. I sort of pause and I hear that voice in my head saying blah, 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 blah. And next thing you know, that's what's being repeated. That's what's being said. So in that sense, I get it, kind of. Okay, the next one is spiritual awareness. Want something to believe in. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, most of you will know that I don't follow any religion. I mean, there's so many religions, and they have many similarities, and there's a lot of good that comes from having a religion and following a religion, but there's also a lot of bad. There's a lot of war and a lot of conflict and a lot of terror because of religion. So yeah, I don't follow any religion, but I would, because I believe in the life after death, and I have this kind of magic interest. But yes, I do want to believe in something, but what that is, I'm still figuring out. Next one is my language is feelings and intuition. So that's very true. Like, I speak how I feel, and I'm very intuitive, very intuitive. The next one, when I do something, I do it with all my heart. I love that one. And that was said in about 50 videos that I watched. I put my heart and soul into things. I do things fully. I do things completely. All of these things all tied together. And it's true, I really do. If I'm going to do a project, I'll put 110% into it. If I'm helping my family with something like an issue or something that's financially draining or something, anything, I'll give 110%. Same with friends, same with strangers as well. If I saw somebody struggling on the street, I wouldn't ignore it. I would go over and help. I couldn't ignore it. It's just not in me to ignore it. I would have to, help them out. I remember last year, I think it was, I'd gone out just to the shops. I think I was going to the local supermarket at the time, and there was this homeless old woman, and I'd seen her so many times. You could tell she was an alcoholic. She always had a bottle in her hand and things like this. And I'd approached her before many times, but other people on the streets would always tell me, she's okay, she's always here, the police know, blah, 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 and send me off, basically. But there was this one particular time I saw her, and she was just sat on the wall, and she just looked so heartbroken. And I've got goosebumps just even thinking about it. And my heart just broke. So I'd gone shopping, and there's this little bakery at the side, just outside the supermarket. And I bought tons of like little pastries and sandwiches and bread, little bits and pieces, put them in a bag. And when I came back up and walked past her, I just quickly gave her the bag. I didn't even say anything. Just so that she, I don't know, not so I feel good. I mean, that's part of it. I mean, nobody can deny that. It makes you feel good when you do something like that. But when you do it genuinely because your heart is breaking, genuinely breaking, then, that's something else. So I do things 100% with my heart. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling on. This next one is really nice. Beautiful inner world and inner self. People want to be with me. I get that a lot, actually. Not the beautiful inner world. Like, I'm not a pompous windbag, I'm not vain in any respect whatsoever. But definitely the people want to be with me. If I meet somebody new, they would often make an arrangement to meet me again. I tend to get along with people quite easily. So that one's quite nice. This one's really interesting. I attract the wrong people. That is so true. I have seem to have always had a man in my life since I was 4. That was when I had my first boyfriend, when I was 4 years old. Anyway, but yeah, there's been a couple of bad eggs mixed in there. And then next one was a bit weird, which I discussed with my mum, and it goes on about I can change people's perspective on life. I can transform them. I'm known as the transformative one. So I'm going to just leave that one with you guys because I can't figure that one out. Yeah, again, adventurous, don't mind change, which is completely true. I mean, I can literally move from one apartment to the other and think nothing of it. One country to the other, think nothing of it. One job to the other, think nothing of it. I really doesn't bother me. I mean, I've lived in probably 1,000 apartments in my lifetime so far, and so many different cities, so many different countries. It's just ridiculous. So that's true. This one's great. People like that my life is dramatic because it shows both my light, the stronger side of me, and the dark, the vulnerable side of me. Emotions towards this drama, showing that I'm not a fake person. And I think that's true. I do wear my heart on my sleeve. So if I'm going through something quite horrible, I'm quite open with how I feel about that. You know, if I'm sad, I will say I'm sad. If I'm happy, I will say I'm happy. You know, I won't pretend to be either or for no apparent reason. Just in that moment, if I'm happy, then I'll be happy. If I'm sad, I'll be sad. There's no hiding anything. So I suppose, yeah, that does make me not a fake person. Oh, and this one's really strange. People, even after I've cut them off, will always remember me. I don't know about cut off. I don't believe that. I've never cut anybody off in my life. It might just be distance. So, like like university, for instance, I had specifically 5 best friends, but tons of friends. And I see them very, very rarely now because of distance, you know, that kind of thing. So I would never cut anybody out of my life. That's not possible. I wouldn't even know how to do that. But as far as maybe not seeing them as often or not conversating as often, that's possible. But they always remember me. Yeah, I once worked with a guy called Adam years and years and years ago. This must have been 2006 or something like that. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. And I worked with this guy called Adam, and he was absolutely hilarious. We got on like a house on fire. Excuse me. I've forgotten his surname. What's his surname? Anyway, we were just waitressing and waiting and bartending and things like this at the Royal Armouries. And we got paid minimum wage. And he always used to say to me, Stephanie, minimum wage, minimum effort. Oh, we had such a laugh. I just never stopped laughing when I was working with him. Anyway, so because we had such a great time together, but we both sort of went our separate ways, once or twice a year, I'll get this random Facebook message from Adam. And it's just saying, hey there, how's life going? You know, it's just like this ongoing sort of relationship that we have. But it's once in a year or 2 years or something like that. And it's gone on since 2008. It's bonkers. So yeah, I can relate to that. Okay, and then lastly, just to summarize, because I don't know how long the video's been. Apparently I have an old and wise soul. I'm a healer, a natural healer of people. I'm able to mute negative energy. I'm an empath and compassionate. I'm capable of calming people down and soothing them. I'm independent. My mind is complex and vibrant. I work very quietly, efficiently, and behind the scenes. That's very true. When I'm working on a project of some kind, whether it be a piece of art or a video or something, I'm very subdued and I'm very alone and by myself. So I get that. Stick up for people who are being bullied, 100%. I'm there, 100%. If I saw, just like on the streets, for example, if I saw one or two people being attacked by a big gang of others, then I would be the first one there to jump in and try and help these two people or one person or whatever, regardless of my own safety. Sometimes I'm a bit silly like that. I'm a bit reckless. I've done it before. I remember going for a curry with my older sister and her boyfriend at the time after a night out. And so we were all sat down, and this bouncer had come in. I recognised him because we were just the street over from where the bars were that we'd been, and he was the bouncer outside. And he'd come in just to probably have something to eat after his shift. And this big group of guys came in. I don't know the story behind it, but they attacked him straight away. So I'm presuming that they had a to-do outside of the bar. He wouldn't let them in or something like that. I don't know. But there must have been at least 6 or 7 of these guys, and they started attacking this one bouncer. The table was flipped. He was on the floor. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about this. My sister will be able to remember this. My instincts took over, my fight mode, the flight or fight. I'm fight 100%. It took over me, and all rationalization and being careful and cautious and things goes out the window. Literally goes out the window. I have no concern or thought about anything apart from that one guy who's being beaten up by more than a handful of people. And so anyway, when this guy was on the floor and he was getting kicked and punched, and oh my God, I was straight in there, and I just remember leaping onto this guy that was on the floor and just plowing my way through these guys to get to this guy that was on the floor. And I remember getting punched and kicked and all sorts, but I didn't feel it in the moment, which is really crazy. I felt it afterwards, bloody hell. But eventually, because this little tiny girl, because it was a long time ago, jumped in, several other people from around the restaurant then started to jump in, and of course the whole thing got broke up with the police and everything. But yeah, I do that. I'm quite reckless when it comes to my own safety. If I see somebody who's being hurt by others, so if I saw somebody being bullied in a school or something like that, I wouldn't think twice about going over and saying stop. So, yeah, definitely 100%. I feel so passionately about that. Anyway, sorry, totally went off on one there. I'm self-made, so I don't follow any trends. Nope, I don't follow any trends. I wear what I like, even though I'm nearly 40. I like the simple things in life. Yes, definitely. I'm a secret keeper. I need a lot of alone space time. Yes. And then to wrap it up, I'm chilled, reliable, but have a wild side. That's very true. Okay, cool. Right, so hopefully you've been watching my past videos. So you know a little bit about me anyway. But on top of that, you've got all of this information now as well. So the next video that I'm going to make is going to be a truth or a lie. And you get the chance to choose which one you think it is. So I'll make one video for, do you think it's true or do you think it's a lie? And then I'll follow that with the answer. Okay, thank you. Bye.